Welcome to The Explainer. We're going to uncork an incredible story today. It's about how one single family took a country's wine, we're talking bottom shelf stuff, and put it on the world stage. Yeah, this is the story of Catena Zapata.
So how did they do it? How did just one family put Argentine wine on the global map? Well, let's dive in. It's this amazing story of transformation, really all built on vision, a little bit of science, and harnessing the raw power of the Andes Mountains, one bottle at a time.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. Their story is so deeply woven into the story of Argentine wine itself. They're like two vines that grew together. And this isn't some dry business case study. Not at all. It's a real saga spanning 4 generations. And like a lot of the best stories, it all starts with an immigrant's dream and a powerful belief in the soil of a new land. All right, so let's set the scene. We're going back to the turn of the 20th century, and our story starts with the family patriarch, a guy named Nicola Catena. He came over from Italy with, hope in his heart and generations of winemaking basically in his blood.
So Nicola gets things going in 1902, planting that very first Malbec vineyard. He's the one who lays the foundation. Then his son Domingo steps in during the 30s. Now Domingo, he was the builder. He took what his dad started, expanded it, modernized everything, and really turned the family business into a huge deal, at least within Argentina. So you've got these first 2 generations building this really solid base. But it was the 3rd generation, well, he was about to spark an absolute revolution.
Okay, so this is where everything changes. The story takes a hard turn. Enter Nicolas Catena Zapata, the grandson. This guy, he was the visionary. He looked at Argentine wine and saw a future that literally nobody else could even imagine. See, he wasn't just thinking about selling more wine in Buenos Aires. He was thinking bigger. He was thinking about the whole world.
And it all clicked for him during a trip to California. He's there seeing what's happening in Napa Valley, this incredible quality revolution. And it's like a light bulb goes off. He realizes, wait a minute, to compete on the world stage, we can't just keep making more wine. We have to make better wine, like a lot better. So he heads back home with this completely radical new mission. And you really can't overstate what a massive shift this was. I mean, think about it. Before Nicolas, the entire Argentine wine industry was focused on one thing: quantity. Just pumping out huge amounts of simple table wine for people to drink at home. Nicolas comes in and just completely flips the script. His vision was, in a way, simple, but it was absolutely revolutionary. He said, forget quantity. We're going for quality. We're going to aim for world-class standards, and we're going to pick one grape to lead the charge. So what was that one grape? He bet the entire family future on Malbec. Now you have to understand, back then Malbec was, well, it was nothing special. It was mostly just a workhorse grape used in cheap blends. But Nicolas saw something in it. He saw this hidden potential for it to be not just a great wine, but the signature, the emblematic grape of his entire country. It was a massive, massive gamble. Okay, so he's got his grape, but how do you actually unlock its true potential? The answer, as it turns out, wasn't where everyone else was looking, down on the warm, easy-to-farm valley floor. No, the secret, the real secret, he found it way up high in the mountains, way, way closer to the sun. So he starts this experiment that, frankly, a lot of people thought was just plain crazy. He started exploring new terroir, that special mix of soil and climate and location, in places where nobody in their right mind thought vines could possibly grow. He just kept pushing higher and higher up into the Andes, searching for that perfect, undiscovered spot. And that search eventually led him to create the now legendary Adriana Vineyard. We're talking nearly 5,000 feet up. That's 1,500 meters. It was, and still is, one of the highest vineyards on the planet. I mean, people really thought he was mad. But he knew this extreme, harsh location held the key. It was the secret to unlocking greatness.
So why does this crazy altitude thing work? Well, there's some really cool science behind the magic. First, you get this super intense sunlight up there, which makes the grape skins grow thicker. And that means more concentrated flavor, more color. But here's the real secret weapon. The nights are freezing cold. That huge drop in temperature locks in the grape's natural acidity. And that acidity is what gives the wine its freshness, its balance. The result? You get this incredible combination of rich, powerful flavor and bright, elegant freshness. That's the signature of a high-altitude wine.
And this whole high-altitude revolution, it wasn't just some interesting academic experiment. It produced some of the most celebrated, most iconic wines ever to come out of South America, period. Let's just look at 3 other wines that really tell the story. You've got the Nicolas Catena Zapata, which is their flagship blend. It's kind of like their answer to the great wines of Bordeaux, and it was the wine that proved Argentina could hang with the best of them. Then there's the Adriana Vineyard Malbec. This is the purest, most intense expression of that high-altitude magic we were just talking about. And they didn't stop with reds. They took the same idea to Chardonnay with their white bones. It grows in this ancient limestone soil, and it gets this incredible, almost flinty minerality. Just beautiful stuff.
But hold on, the story doesn't stop there. Because today, the legacy is being carried forward by the 4th generation. And that's Nicolas's daughter, Dr. Laura Catena. And let me tell you, she brings a whole new, fascinating dimension to the family's mission.
Get this. Laura is an actual emergency room doctor, with degrees from Harvard and Stanford. And she takes that same scientific rigor, that same discipline, and applies it to winemaking. It's amazing. She even founded the Catena Institute of Wine, which is basically a dedicated research facility to scientifically map out every single plot of their land, all to keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Her vision is just so incredibly forward-thinking. It's not just about the science. She's also a huge champion for sustainability, pushing for things like organic and biodynamic farming. And she goes beyond the vineyard, making sure the winery is a real force for good in the community with education and health projects. You see, she's not just coasting on the family name, she is actively taking that legacy and elevating it to a whole new level.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, it's just this incredible story of progress, right? Each generation didn't just repeat what the last one did, they built on it. You start with Nicola's immigrant dream, then you get Domingo building the business, then Nicolas ignites this massive quality revolution, and now you have Laura bringing in science and sustainability. It's just a perfect 4-act play.
What this whole story proves, really, is that a true revolution in wine can come from anywhere. It can start with just one family, a deep belief in a single, overlooked grape, and the sheer audacity to plant it on the side of a mountain. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where is the next big revolution in wine going to come from?